What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe here, and we're here with another toy review of a Transformer. This one is the well-known, very well-known Decepticon Starscream, and of course, this is not the one from the G1 line or even the live-action 2007 movie. God forbid that one. But this one is actually from War For Cybertron. Pretty much all the little 3-chapter miniseries. So as you can see, sort of like a I think supposed to be like a Cybertronian, somewhat you could say a fighter plane. Cause one thing about it, they did not, in the War For Cybertron series, they did not go to Earth at all, except for the 3rd chapter. But it wasn't modern day Earth. It was like Earth in the past. And they met up with the Maximals and Predacons there, and sort of had a slight crossover to sort of bring in Beast Wars. But anyway, in the first 2 chapters, it was basically Autobots and Decepticons. So, even despite that, he does look really good there. Good Starscream figure, and as we all know, Starscream is the one that was would normally betray Megatron from the very beginning of the Transformers lore, especially as he made very clear in G1 multiple times, even in the first episode, when he's like, "The Autobots would have lost eons ago if I'd been calling the shots." Starscream, only a few select ever lead. My time will come, Megatron. Never, never prepare to blast off. And several times, even in the very first season of the show, Megatron has fallen! Decepticons, follow me! Yep, and then in the G1 movie that came out while still in the 80s there, the first animated G1 movie, Megatron had I think they were trying to reduce like the weight on Astro Train, so they were throwing out certain Decepticons that I guess they were deeming as dead weight, and Megatron was one of them because he was badly injured from his fight with Optimus, and Starscream was the very one that kicked him off, much like Scar pushing Mufasa off the cliff. And then Starscream took over, had a coronation with a cape and a crown. No capes! But then unexpectedly, Unicron had changed Megatron into Galvatron, and he came back. Starscream was like, "Megatron? Galvatron!" and took out and disintegrated Starscream with one blast. Yeah, so and then we got Starscream's ghost later on in the latter part of G1 after the movie. And also a cameo from the Starscream Ghost in Beast Wars when it possessed Waspinator. Allow me to introduce myself. The name is Starscream, Air Commander of the Decepticon Battle Fleet! Dun dun dun. So yeah, Starscream's got quite a history, as you probably are aware. Yeah. So let's kind of zoom out just a little bit, just kind of give him. Yeah, he's got a pretty good shape here. Yeah, especially when you hold him up, it's almost kind of makes, I want to say kind of like a key, kind of, maybe not quite, but, I would say not like obviously not like a house key, but like, like some kind of mythical key or something like that. But anyway, as you can see, yeah, he goes. There is kibble, yeah. Especially here, this is supposed to be the robot mode chest. Believe it or not, in War For Cybertron, this is actually visible in the series. So this is not just something with the toy. This is actually visible in the series. He looks like this in the back, and possibly underneath there, or they might maybe have it somewhat blended in a little bit better, but either way, it's still it's still not bad though, because like I say, that's the advantage of most of the machine type Transformers, the Autobots and Decepticons, Yeah, they pretty much are really good with blending their kibble, the majority of them there. Of course, you do have a few exceptions like Skywarp, which I finally did sell. Hopefully, I guess whoever bought them probably would enjoy them a little bit better. But yeah, yeah, Skywarp wasn't, just to me, wasn't cutting it there. But like I say, perhaps this new buyer might think differently. So all more power to him or her. So, and you see, you got his little blasters there, which will be also present in robot mode. He can, they're already attached to him, so he uses them. He can use these in both modes. There, I think he does that in the show as well. So, got a real long nose here, upright, in front of the cockpit there. So, and he kind of, another thing kind of comes to my mind with the design, kind of makes me think of something you see in Star Wars a little bit. The design of his alt mode here. Yeah, sort of like I could see one of the Star Wars characters in the I can imagine one of them inside the cockpit. Since he's a Decepticon, maybe one of the villains, perhaps. They're like Darth Maul or something like that, or maybe even Darth Vader himself there. No, Emperor Palatine, perhaps. Yeah. Yep. Now I'm starting to think of that To Boldly Flee, the Channel Awesome parody of Star Wars and other space sci-fi films, when they had that one scene with the last angry geek in there in the cockpit. He was talking to what looked like RDC-4, I think, or the little robot that be doing all the little beeping. He's like, well, what did you expect? What did you expect? That coffee maker was no good for you. Try matchmaker.com. You leave my ex-wife out of this. Anywho, let's get to transforming him before he runs in here and gets mad at me about mentioning his ex-wife. So we're going to take these off because they're going to reattach to his arms in robot mode, which is right here. So we're going to take them off. You could keep them on in the transformation if you like, but it would be easier to just, deattach them. Just make sure you don't lose them there. So anyway, let's go and kind of get his arms deattached from his legs there. That's gonna, all right, so now we free up his legs so you can go and straighten them out here. And they also, they also act as thrusters at the bottom, so he could probably utilize the thruster parts even in his robot mode. Go and separate his wings there, bring them out, and now let's see, let's go and pull out the arms and open this up here. Gonna bring his fist out. The typical storage of the fists, as to say, not too surprising. Yep. Let's see. Right. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm gonna turn this around. Turn his turn him all the way around at the waist here, so it can be in. So that can be in place here. And now, and make sure this doesn't come off there. Now bring this down to form the chest. I kind of found that odd too, that this was actually visible like it was in the show. Like I say, I thought it was just a toy thing, and maybe that was the best way they could, engineer it and stuff. Which, like I say, wasn't a big issue, but it just kind of surprised me when I watched the series that it was actually visible in the show. I was like, wow, it seemed like kind of a Power Ranger thing. You know how like the Astro Mega Ship, where they have the visible fists and stuff, because because the Zords and stuff like that are pretty much designed exactly like like the way they're gonna sell them as the toys there. So let's go and bring his head out here. And now come around here, so I'm kind of working this stuff here. Bring that It's trying to come out here. Bring that down. Open up the long nose. And bring each of these ends here. And like so. I'm gonna bring this little piece behind his head down. And the reason why, gotta get it aligned just right. So this way, let's say, got little inserts right there. Oh boy, gotta get it right here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is all. Okay, that's in place. So you gotta kind of work it here. This is. There we go. Okay. And that automatically, that's why you let this down, because it automatically pops this into place, the little piece behind his head, and it acts sort of as a gap cover a little bit there. So now, because I remember first time I got him, I didn't pay attention to this part, and I had it like, I think I had it like down in the back or something like that. So there was this big gap here, but see, this kind of covers the gap a bit there. So here we go, and let's get them all straightened out and everything. And I think we got them here. Once you do all that, yeah, you pretty much got them. Yeah, so there you have them. Starscream there. Let's see, maybe. Okay, yeah, there you go. Starscream, everybody, in robot mode. Yep, got a little bit of a backpack, but not a whole lot. Just pretty much like, you know, what he usually would have, you know, with his flight wings and everything. That's pretty normal. And then of course, you know, you take these, you can see the head sculpt right there. That is, you know, that's Starscream. You know he's gonna betray Megatron. Turning all his head around and stuff, and his waist, he kinda, yeah, I think it's kinda stuck. Let's see, maybe, I think, yeah, it's kinda stuck, it's about as far as the waist will go, but he can turn the head all the way around. If you fold his wings back, you can move his arms and stuff. Bend at the elbow. That kind of goes up sometime, but just push it back down. Yep, like so. Make his legs and stuff like that. Bend at the knee. And they can even do this. Same with the other leg. And as for these, you attach them right here. You can put them in his hand if you like. They will, let's see, they will fit in, I think they'll fit into his hand. Kind of a tight fit in his hand. So he could do that, but the reason why I say, yeah, because that's kind of a tight fit there, and it kind of made the fist come out of place. So yeah, and you could do that. Well, no, not really. So you put them right here. This is how the show, the War for Cybertron, and even G1 betrays this connection right here. He always has the weapon attached to this part of his arm there. So he doesn't really ever hold it in the show, and I guess he prefers doing it like that. Yeah, so that's kind of his thing. And you go back here. So normally, yeah, his wings would be like this, but you could be kind of creative with these wings here. As for you can just have them like that. Now, of course, that adds to the backpack, but you know, from here, you know, it looks like it's just him without the wings. Or you can do like that. You can do that. That's something I kind of discovered. I kind of did just for randomness there, sort of like almost like he's riding a hang glider there. Wee, wee, yeah. So that's something you can do, or that. not really much to that there, but it's something. You could do this. Don't know what exactly you would call him doing that. Like, hey, so, I guess maybe just for a gag there. But like I say, and hey, maybe you get the figure for yourself. Y'all come up with some. Maybe there's some other things y'all might come up with for those wings there. You know, use, as SpongeBob say, use your. Let me do the imagination. Are you trying to say that I have no imagination? I have more imagination in my blasters here than you two have in your whole bodies. That's great, Starscream. Now all you need is a box. A box? I'll show you. Oh boy. Oh wait, hold on a second. I gotta do this. A box. He's like a box, he says. So this package. Oh no! Oh, don't do that. The hell. Hope y'all didn't. Yeah, man, need to tear this off here. Okay, so that side. A box, you say? Oh, hey! Get this off of me! Ah! Oh boy. Okay, let me try that again. I don't know if this is gonna. Well, I guess it. Well, that. Forget you. I don't need no stinking box. See, Lord have mercy. A box. Box them up. So that's a Starscream with no he has more imagination in his blasters. So that's Starscream, everybody. So hope y'all like that and that little added performance there. And say, like I say, definitely make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and definitely get our available books, and also definitely support us on the Patreon and support the Miracle Crew. Just yours truly, King Gabe, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, Jen, aka Chris Godfrey, Janara Nellens, and of course, EJ the Supreme. And also, definitely hang out with us on the Discord live streams and the Facebook, and search us some stuff on this Macari app, just like how we got Starscream in the first place. And we'll see you in the next video or live stream. Yo, take care, everybody. Take care. Peace out. Wait, hold up for a second. One thing I forgot to mention about Starscream is this grin he has. Let me see if it'll show up. Yes, this. Look at that. Tell me that's not Starscream. Look at that grin. He's like, you know he's up to something. He's been up to something ever since Transformers began. and especially with the glowing eyes under the light there. So, anyway, see you later.